Hey there. Hi. Good morning. Oh, look, I'm in the kitchen. I needed that. It's instant Starbucks, but it's instant. It's not that good, but it's better than not having coffee. So I woke up really early this morning. I'm in Hermosa Beach, and I'm looking. I was going to show you the view and do this outside this morning, but the truth is, it's totally overcast, and you can't even see the water, which is only like a block away. It's beautiful here, or at least it will be after 12 or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Here's to the morning, overcast though it might be. Anyway, I woke up this morning, regular time, came out to do my morning gratitude sheet. I think I showed you that before. And I couldn't get the lights on. So I started kind of walking around trying to get lights on. And everybody else here is asleep. I couldn't get anything on. We had a power outage this morning. Yeah, it just came back on about 5 minutes ago. So I boiled the water so I could make my coffee so I could be here with you. So let's pretend that it's just an absolutely normal, regular day. Oh, I got my hair trimmed yesterday. What do you think? Huh? Now I'm going to have to let it grow for a while so I can get it in a ponytail again, but at least everything's even. Oh, except for this one part right here. Yeah. I said, look, I know I really goofed that up. I don't know why I cut that. And he said, yeah, let's just let that grow some more. So I still have my gray sideburns. I know you're jealous. Yeah, I know. I have gray sideburns. Isn't that cool? Anyway, I didn't make him that way. God made him that way, I guess. So it is September 10th. You know what that means, don't you? No, of course you don't. It's Rin Tin Tin's birthday. Do you remember Rin Tin Tin? It's like the coolest German Shepherd in the whole wide world. He was like Lassie on acid. Yeah, Rin Tin Tin. See if you can pick up old an old show because they were like so much fun. Rusty. I think his boy's name was Rusty. Yeah, yeah, I think that's what it was. Rin Tin Tin. Okay, but it's also Ted Kluszewski's birthday. I doubt that he's still alive. That's not the guy that sounds like the Unabomber, not the Unabomber. Ted Kluszewski was a White Sox player. He was on the Chicago White Sox. He played first base back in the mid 50s, probably into the early 60s. Now, why do I know these things? Well, a little known secret about me, although I'm not a big baseball fan anymore, I loved the Chicago White Sox. When I was like in third, fourth, fifth, sixth grade, totally, totally loved the Chicago White Sox. I knew every single person on the team. My dad used to take me to see them play, and we'd get right down in front. Now, talk about meeting your favorite celebrities. We would be down there at every game, and we'd be, I didn't even know what high fives were, but we'd be high fiving all those players as they went back, in after a game or came out before the game. My favorite was Louis Aparicio. What a heartthrob. Louis Aparicio played shortstop. So even to this day, shortstop is my favorite position. I even wrote a song about him. You want to hear some of it? I know. But do you want me to name some of the players first? Like Nellie Fox and Early Wynn and a Minnie Minoso. Oh, yeah, Minnie Minoso. Anyway, they were all awesome. But Louis Aparicio, he was my fave. I think because he was a little guy and I kind of identified with him. So it went like this. Little Louie, 11 on your chest, always in and out a second. You always did your best, using early spitball for the tail of your comet. Okay, never mind. You don't have to hear the whole thing. I wrote him a song because I was a kid who was in love with a baseball player. It happens. Mm. Those are the days, huh? Those just like sixth grade when you don't know that there's anything in the world except you, your friends, school, your parents. Whatever you were upset about, you got over pretty quickly. I had like the most delightful childhood. I almost feel guilty. It was so awesome. I think it was like better than most of the TV shows, but I have a feeling it had something to do with the attitude that I was born with. That's all I can figure because I have siblings and they don't remember our childhood quite the way I do. I just remember it as being incredibly carefree, climbing trees and being with friends. And oh, yeah, I was like a mega tomboy. Mm. Okay, so enough of my Chicago White Sox, and I'll tell you some stories about my childhood some other time. In the 1850s, 1860s, something like that, Abraham Lincoln gave a speech, and in it was that famous line, you can fool all of the people some of the time, and some of the people all of the time, but you can't fool all the people all the time. Now, there are some people who say Abraham Lincoln didn't say that, or at least they can't prove it. I went on the internet yesterday because I was determined to get evidence that it was Abraham Lincoln who said that. And most people that there was this speech in 1850 something or other say that. And it was later, not a lot later, but later, that P.T. Barnum, you know, the circus guy, he said, you can fool, you can't fool all the people all of the time, but you can fool all of the people some of the time. I don't know. It gets really confusing, but the whole idea was he was promoting his circus and he thought you could fool everybody at least some of the time. And here's you can fool. Here it is. I got it. Okay, I got it. P.T. Barnum said you can fool most of the people all of the time. He thought we were all suckers. You know, a sucker is born every minute. But that's not all today is famous for. Now, in 1930, Richard Drews, a name that should be on the tongue of every child in the world, invented Scotch tape. Yeah, he did. He invented Scotch tape, and shortly thereafter, he invented masking tape. What would we do without him? But I don't think he invented duct tape. I'll have to do some. I'll have to do some googling and find out if any of you are like sitting around doing nothing. Find out who invented duct tape. Hey, good morning, Pam. Good morning, Opa. Thanks for finding me, even though I'm running so late. So it's also Suicide Awareness Day. Can we get serious for just a minute? I have been personally touched by suicide twice in my life. And I have to tell you, losing someone is devastating. The thought that they chose to be lost. If anything should ever keep you from suicide, it should just be knowing what it does to the people that are left behind. It's ugly. It's ugly and it's painful, and there's no completion. You know, it's not like you can ever get answers because they're gone. Suicide. And you don't even know whose heart's breaking on the inside. If ever there was a reason just to be kind to everyone, Suicide Prevention Day is the day to do that. I have a dear friend who lost a child to suicide. Didn't know her at the time, but I do know the result of losing a child that way. Actually, she bought a bunch of my book, and we did a big sticker here with her daughter's picture, and it was dedicated with love to her memory, and she distributed them to places where people were in danger of taking their own lives. Reach out. Don't judge. You can't know what's going on inside of a person's head or inside of a person's heart any more than I can actually know what's going on with you. But you can reach out and you can make yourself available. And just in case anyone is listening who needs me, I am here for you 24/7. I mean that. I mean that sincerely. Think of me as that friend that you could call at 3 o'clock in the morning. Not just because you can't find the remote for the TV, okay? I mean, make it something that you need me for, because I'm not going to find your remote either. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on. Word for today? Want a word for today? I love the words that in English we don't have any word for. Okay, the Intuit word. Intuit, the Indians in Alaska. I studied them in college, by the way, with Professor Birdsell at UCLA, who lived with the Intuits for like, I don't know, 2 years or something. It was one of the most interesting classes I've ever had. I'd love to tell you I remember everything about the Intuits. I don't really remember anything, except somebody in that class had a seizure once. That's my only memory of that class. Okay, anyway, it's an Intuit word. Iktsuarpok. Itsuarpok. 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 It is the frustration and annoyance that comes with waiting for someone to show up. Come on, is that like something you deal with pretty much every day of your life? Itsuarpok. It's that feeling of, really? How disrespectful could you possibly be that you don't care about my time? It is pretty disrespectful. Now, it can also be carried to the extreme. My father, if we were like a minute late, he would be sitting with his watch going like this. So we learned at a very early age that being late is not acceptable. I would rather be 5 minutes early and wait for you than have to go through apologizing because you had to wait for me. Yeah, don't be late. Being late is just like, come on, it's so lame. So I did all these how hot is it jokes for you because I thought everybody's so, it's like really no climate change except that it's 100 degrees where it's usually 50. Oh, and it snowed in Colorado yesterday in the Denver area. It was snowing in like 50 some degrees. And in my desert, it was like 109 or something. I don't know. Somebody that I went to high school with put on Facebook that where she lived, it was like 101. And I thought that was funny because that day it was 118 where I lived. And I said, so we don't even have air conditioning. Yeah, my bad. Sorry, I apologized and invited her to come stay out in the desert where we were prepared for the heat. Because we're not really hot unless we go outside. You know, we have air conditioning. It's cool. But if the power goes out, wow. I mean, one of the things I didn't get to do today was that gratitude list. You can believe that as soon as I'm through here, the first thing I am putting on my gratitude list is electricity. Alexander Graham Bell, wasn't that him? No, that was the phone. Thomas Edison. Sorry, Thomas Edison, I salute you. I am grateful to you for electricity, for lights, for stoves that run on gas, I guess. I don't know. For my coffee in the morning, which I was so afraid I wasn't going to get. But I did. Yay. Okay, what else? Oh, I said we were going to talk about sex today, didn't I? Yeah, instead of a celebrity, I thought that would be kind of fun. It was suggested to me that I might want to consider doing like a special sex channel, or at least a channel for women. I'm going to call it Women in the Age of Medicare. No, that is not cool. But I was explaining to somebody this story yesterday, and they said, wow, you should be doing a channel where you're just talking about things like this because nobody ever talks about this stuff. So I have these young ladies that I play tennis with, absolutely delightful, about the age of my children. And because I'm like very energetic, I'm like one of the gang, and they feel comfortable asking me personal questions. And I don't have a lot of secrets. So, as long as I'm not infringing on anyone else's privacy, I'll answer questions. And their question was, do you still like sex when you get to be your age? I just started laughing. And I said, you know what? You guys in your 40s don't even know what good sex is yet. The best is yet to come. Just because you get older doesn't mean you lose your sex drive. Come on, girls, am I right? I should be seeing everybody going thumbs up on this one. Whether you're listening to this live or you're listening later, I am absolutely going to need your opinions. I need thumbs up and hearts and comments. Let me know if this is something that you would be interested in having me talk about more regularly. So the question, not the question, the story that I shared was, here we go. I'm trying to tell you this without revealing, any information about exactly who it was, because I don't want to do that. Let's just say that I was having a very pleasant conversation with an old friend, a guy, same age as I, within the last few years. Both of us single, not interested in each other, but just friends and having coffee and conversation. And he said he was dating someone who was like 20 years younger than he. And I said, that's just sick. That's like dating your child or your child's friends. And I apologize to those of you who are in relationship with someone who's 20 years younger, 20 years older. You do your own thing. But for this guy, it just wasn't appropriate. And I said, I don't understand. How do you have so much fun communicating about things from your past. And I want to be with somebody who knows where they were when JFK was killed. I want to be with someone who remembers when the Beatles were first hot. He said, yeah, but you know what? Guys our age are not interested in women your age. I said, what do you mean women my age? I'm the same age you are. He said, no, I mean, we're just not interested in older women. I said, really? And why is that? He said, well, because we still like sex. Yeah. He said, older women don't like sex anymore. We still want to have sex. I said, you're full of crap. Women my age still like having sex. I think women reach a second prime. And I'm really sorry to say that I didn't even know guys your age could still get it up. Anyway, it was a hilarious conversation. And about 2 months later, I received a letter in the mail from him apologizing, telling me he just got engaged to a woman our age. She was wonderful, and I was right. So that's it for my sex talk for today. We could talk more about it. I've got lots of stories about sex. It could be fun. How to be happy and grateful, even when you're in quarantine. Today, I am on page 5. And I'm on page 5 because of all that's going on in the world today. A lot of nasty stuff. Oh, I was going to tell you about apocalypse. Do you know what apocalypse means? We're going to talk about that tomorrow because I'm so over. I'm just reading you this one. Oi to the world. Oi to the world. Yep, that's it for today. Make it a better day. Make it a good day. Let's talk about sex again tomorrow. But give me some feedback on that if you would. I would like to hear how you feel about talking about sex. See you then tomorrow. Bye.